We'll start early because fuck it, why not? It's my channel. I do what I want. Hello, my name's Rob. This is Cattle Rabbit Scale Model Studios. This is a fantastic cup of tea, and outside is a beautiful day. It's currently 32 degrees where I am, and I love it. Absolutely love this weather so much. It puts the jam in my bun so much. I know a lot of people don't like it. I know it's very uncomfortable, but I do genuinely love this weather. So we have some updates on the Kharadon stuff, which I won't do just yet. I think I'll wait for a few more people to just show up, or at least wait to the actual official start time. Doesn't really matter. People can rewatch this, and it's more like a hobby hangout that you can just put on whenever you want, or maybe if you're on the toilet or you are just, you know, feeling a bit lonely and like my dulcet tones. Mr. Bob Bobbington, all right, how are you? Penge, are you well? On this lovely, beautiful, sweaty, clammy day. Oh, didn't it make you happy? Anyway, I'm very over the moon with this weather today. I love the heat. You know, with this side of things, and I'm so happy. So yeah, that's where we are at work. It's your last day, and then you get a bit of a normal life back, which is absolutely fantastic. I hope it's a stonker for you and it goes swiftly without issue. Not bad, shade warm, but doing all right. How about you? I am very well. It's Friday. I've got a fantastic weekend lined up. My youngest daughter actually turns 6 years old tomorrow, so I've got a day celebrating that tomorrow, which I'm really looking forward to. And yeah, it's just an absolute fantastic looking weekend. We're going to get a bit of rain. Apparently, there's going to be thunderstorms and stuff like that, but you know, I can live with that. So. The dog and cat's all right in the heat. Yes. Yeah, once I put them out using the fire extinguisher, they're perfectly fine now. They've cooled right down. No gribbles there. They've actually been very quiet, actually, today. All jokes aside, no, I tend to be walking the little wee sausage dog. I did briefly take Watson out about 6:30 today, just so he could do his business, because his butthole was doing that, and it tells me it's time for pooping. So I did just running. I'm lucky enough to live on the river, so there's a little path, so it's all on the grass and everything, and I went out and he did his business and job done. The cats are pretty much self-sufficient. They'll go and lay in the shade. They're all fine. They've stuck close to the patio today. There's plenty of water out there. Once again, they're not short of anything because there's river and water absolutely everywhere, so where I live. So that's yeah, they are all right. Probably a little bit warm, but a small price to pay for this glorious weather that we have. So Kharadon Overlords. So last time I was here, I think I was doing the base. Now I actually went back and I changed the base to this lovely looking vivid green with tufts and things. I was going to go for a beachy, sandy type of look, but I just weren't feeling it. It didn't do it for me. So I went back. I covered the whole thing in Grelin earth. I did scrape off some of the fine sand texture, and I have got a fantastic little basing material. I don't know where it's here. That I actually inherited from my friend David, who actually left the UK to go back to, I think, Norway. He went back to, but it's the Army Painter Battlefield Grass. I've used this a few times with little projects, but in very small quantities. But look at that! What a fantastic bright colour that is. So I did kind of order some bits off of Geek Gaming, like I did go through on Wednesdays live over on Instagram, and I just thought maybe I would use this as well, but I really just like this. So for anyone that wants to, battlefield field grass, 2 fields when 1 field isn't enough. It's really good stuff. It clumps together. You can kind of dab it and get some really nice irregular patterns. And on one of the smaller miniatures, what I did was there we go. Yeah, once again, absolutely fantastic. I've used this a couple of times now, this one in a lot bigger quantity, and super happy with it. So that's the first Thunderer. That's the Gunnery Sergeant. Turns out you can make him the banner guy as well, because the last thing you want is, you know, having to remove him, because he's got the big double barrel ether cannon thing, and there he is on his base with that fantastic little kind of jade stone effect that we came up with last time in a happy accident. Just out of curiosity, Pench, how much did you pay for this, and where did you get it from? Because I inherited this, so I will definitely look at probably grabbing some more for myself. So if you could just drop me a message with where you got your stuff from, that'd be absolutely amazing. Just so I can pick up some more. Because the last thing I would do is I would dread running out of it at this stage. So yeah, so I thought I would do a Thunderer. You know, they look kind of cool together, I thought. So I'm pretty chuffed with that. So I thought what I would do is I will paint up the Thunderers. I actually have the colours just here. You can see a few of them. I had it down to 14 colours, but with the colours that I end up using for the base, it actually comes in at 4, 8, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24 colours to do one of the little Thunderer guys. Once again, I don't think that's too bad. They come together really quickly. So here's one I made earlier. Here's one I made earlier. So I actually sprayed this up. I didn't have any lead belcher. I didn't have lead belcher last time. So I've been actually base coating everything by hand. So I actually have been base coating with Runefang Steel, which is this. And I'm just kind of overbrushing the silver onto it. Once again, this was something that I inherited. This is the Army Painter War Paint Gunmetal. Really good stuff. And I'm just going to use it to just paint pretty much over all of it, because then I'll just block in the colours for the trousers and things like that. I would like to try and get the majority of this body section completed today. Now, I don't know whether that's wishful thinking, but we'll give it a bit of a go, and we'll see how we end up. So obviously using just a red grass, this is the size 2, it's my absolute weapon of a brush. It's really watery because I've actually put the silver paint straight onto the wet palette, just so it's a little bit thinner and, you know, not as heavy. And all I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to go over absolutely everything in no particular orderly fashion. I'm not particularly trying to be neat. I'm almost like over brushing this so I can leave some of the rose gold of Runefang steel, or Rune Lord brass. I keep calling it Runefang. It's Rune Lord brass. Sorry, I do beg your pardon. Nice one. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, just send it through to us. I really want to know where you've picked yours up from, so I can grab some. Hi, Ricky. Good evening. How are you? You were looking absolutely glorious in the garden today. I do hope you're well. I know sunny Denmark hasn't been quite as sunny as the UK today, but I do hope the weather has been absolutely fantastic for you regardless. And so same again, I'm just going to work over all of the bronze and stuff like that. And in actual fact, today I do have my good friend Bob Bobbington. I've known him a long time. I actually met him at the Warhammer Fest that I went to. And he is also going to be starting a Kharadon Overlords project. I don't know when, but we were chewing the fat with ideas, and Bob's someone that I've known for a while, and kind of we bounce around ideas off of each other and just give ourselves a little way of maybe thinking a little bit differently sometimes with, you know, where we want to go with things and, you know, ideas and stuff like that. So he's also going to be starting a little, I say little, I don't really know actually, it could be massive, Kharadon Overlords fleet. One we just need to get some paint space. Well, that's it. And my man in Furo Miniatures there, Richard, how are you today? I do hope you're well. Once again, a good friend of mine over on Instagram. Just absolute lad, and what a fantastic taste in movies he has. Very similar. He grew up with a lot of the same movies that I did. We were talking about these earlier today, and in actual fact, I think now would be a really good time for us to discuss our Running Man type game that we've got. So we were chatting a few weeks ago now, and this is something that now lives rent free in my head. And we were talking about wasted potential of GW, like licenses and things you could do with models and box sets and expansions and stuff like that. And we came up with this really cool idea of making like a Necromunda, but like the Running Man, where you could have like gang expansions and bounty hunters sent in, and you could, like, you know, upgrade your little ragtag posse, and almost like the Warriors, you got to get from A to B, get back to your own turf. You could do themed scenery, and it's just like, what a fantastic idea. No one's thought of this except us, because we're proper smart. And that's, you know, what we're kind of talking about. And once again, the conversation veered back to that today, and I don't know, we might have to start putting some stuff together, I think, because it sounds too good to not actually do at this point. What a game that would be. Kind of like Blood Bowl, Dungeon Bowl, but Necromunda crossed with an 80s futuristic sci-fi movie. Oh, come on. It's waiting. Why has no one thought of this? Because people are idiots. And that's I'm standing by that decision. So yeah, let's go with that one. Exactly, you could do theme tiles, theme scenery pieces. Think of the scatter scenery you could have. All the different environments and biomes you could make up for these people to try and get through. Almost like a game of death. It would just be, the possibilities are actually limitless, what you could come up with. Once again, why? Just why? Why is it always the people that design these things can't come up with great ideas like this? Awful, awful, awful behaviour from people that are paid to do this for a living when we've just done it for free. They could have their own cars. Oh, come on now. I always remember the guy with all the lights on him and stuff. And the Running Man. What a movie. Come on now. Have a word with yourself. If you don't like the Running Man, you just need to get the hell out, is what I would go with. So yeah, has anyone, that's always quite a bit of thing, because obviously we talk about this, we get excited and we're like, it'd be great. Has anyone had, or has anyone ever thought about taking an existing game system and turning it into something else? You know, like, would you, we look at Necromunda miniatures and we go, do you know what, this would just fit perfectly into the Running Man. Has anyone ever looked and gone, oh, well, I've got this, all the Shadespire warbands and stuff like that, they would be fantastic in, and you've created a little game with your own, because there's using them for other things, like a lot of Age of Sigmar miniatures are used in Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, which is, great. But has anyone actually ever came up with their own game system and like their own bespoke rules or anything like that? Space Hulk into Kiss Chase. It's all starting to sound a bit sexy in here. You're talking about games like that. Maybe I won't do any hiding, and maybe there'll just be lots of kissing. Who knows? Just playing hard to get now. I just think there's so much potential. I'd like to see him bring back Space Crusade I think that'd be great. They did it with Hero Crest. Obviously, Milton Brady. I know the rights for it was slightly different back then, but I would love to see something like. I was gutted I missed out on the Hero Crest Kickstarter. I would have loved to have got my hands on that. It's a game me and my brother played a hell of a lot growing up. I remember he had all the expansions. He still does, actually. And we spent ages, absolute ages, playing Hero Quest. What a game. Space Crusade was one that I never got my hands on. I would have loved to have played that as a kid. Oh my god, Escape from New York, yes. Yes, they did. Do you know what? I never looked too much into the Aliens tabletop game. Some of the miniatures look nice. Some of them look quite bad, I think. Like there's definitely a quality issue in my eyes with some of them, which is a shame. But once again, that's a very underutilized IP, I think. Things like Aliens, because it has so much potential. So it's a shame that they haven't. The President's Glider. Just start like sellotaping your miniatures to blooms and abseiling them off of your own forehead onto the tabletop. Just be like, Rob, he's got his miniatures taped to his head again. He's coming in from orbit. Quality. I'm all for that. Big Trouble in Little China would make a fantastic board game. It really would. It would that would be everything Big Trouble in Little China. So I'm going to block in the Night Lord's Blue that I've just dropped. Don't worry, well recovered. Funny story about Night Lord's Blue. Did anyone who is here sit in to mine and Josh's live on Wednesday over on Instagram? Because if you do, I have quite a funny story about us being banned in some countries. But yeah, Big Trouble in Little China was a movie. So my mum used to work in a pub called the Crown Scepter, and it was right opposite our house where we grew up. My older brother is 5 years older than me. He was always left in charge, and literally all we did was watch the same movies over and over again. And I can actually name the movies. It was always either Ghostbusters 2. It was Big Trouble in Little China. It was Predator or Predator 2. It was Alien or Aliens. It was RoboCop or RoboCop 2. Or it was Terminator or Terminator 2. And we would just watch them religiously on repeat over and over and over again while my mum walked. Like, she used to do the lunchtime shift in the pub. And so a lot of the time, if my brother wasn't there, then I would obviously go and spend a lot of my upbringing in a pub. Thus, the Laker alcoholism is what I'm going to go in. A Starship Troopers game crossed with StarCraft would be amazing. So yeah, I obviously on a Wednesday I do a little live hangout with my good friend Josh from Freestyle Gaming, and occasionally, if the mood takes me, I'll give a little sing song. And I actually made a song up on Wednesday about putting paintbrushes up my bum, and I was saying to poo because it rhymed with Night Lord's Blue. And apparently there is a song, and I can't actually look up the names. I'm using my phone as a camera, so I can't go to WhatsApp. I will post it. There is a song, and apparently we infringed their copyright by having this song, on our live. But it wasn't. It was the song I made up about putting paintbrushes up my bum. And Wednesday's live show actually got banned in Africa and most of Europe because of copyright infringement, or because I made a song up about Night Lord's Blue and putting paintbrushes up my bum. So there we have it. Just not healthy, it's not good, and it's certainly not cool. I think we've all got a bit of growing up, and I'm probably bad because I made I loved blue rhino poo anyway. So yeah, we got from Africa. You're not allowed to view our stories in Africa anymore, or our lives in Africa, or Europe. As far as I know, Josh did appeal it, and it did get overturned. But I did think that was pretty funny, as he had to rock up to me and be like, "Rob, so do you know our live we did? Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not. We got a bit of a strike against it. Why? All right, because you sung a song about putting paintbrushes up your bum. All right, okay. So maybe don't do that in the future. Okay. And there we have it. So straight away you can see this guy's, he's going to come together really, really easily. Is it going? I know there's a bit of a delay. Okay. Bear with us 2 seconds. I wonder if I can write that in the chat. How's it looking now? Is it sound a little bit better? Has it caught up with itself a bit? If someone could just maybe write yay, nay, if you can hear this, or if you can't. I'm back. You can hear the smooth tones of Robbie M. Good. Okay. I had that a couple of weeks ago. See, once again, I'm pretty sure it's because I was talking about putting paintbrushes up my bum. They don't like it, and the service just goes. So it's definitely someone out to sabotage my butt. And yeah, so right, these guys, Thunderers, they come together really, really easily. That's one thing I noticed with this guy. He only took me a couple of evenings. This guy, I think, is going to be even quicker because obviously now he's ready for washes. I am just going to put some pre-highlights and tidy up the silver. Is anyone else doing any painting at the moment? What are you working on? In the chat, please do let me know. I say this all the time. Lives are really, really weird. I've done the lives with Josh on a Wednesday for over 2 years now, and I've obviously got someone to to talk when I'm not. But when it's just you, it's an odd one because it's like being at a dinner party and you're the only one talking and everyone's looking at you, but you're also on cocaine. And it's like, just, okay, well, I need to carry on talking. I need to do something. And yeah, it's just a bit of an odd one. The lives are on your own are a bit oh, nice. Definitely looking forward to seeing the Raven Guard. I did notice that you were getting rid of or looking to swap some bits. Is that for, you know, just a clearing out reason, or are you starting a big project or something, or, you know, what have you what you got going on there? So I'm just going to base coat this blue. Okay, I'm pretty chuffed with that. Now I'm using Night Lord's blue and I'm using McCrag blue to highlight. Maybe it's 6 a.m. or after a shift. You're a little bit worn out. I used to do nights at my old job. I used to work at HSS and I ran their biggest depot, and it was horrendous. I was there all the time, 24/7. You know, I wasn't seeing my kids or anything like that. And night shift, especially when you'd already done a day shift, was just horrendous. To the point of it was awful. I don't know how people just continue to do night shift. It must absolutely mess you up to the point of, is there any way back? Is, you know, what is normal? It's absolutely crazy. Night shift and night shift work. I got to admit, I don't know you. So in actual fact, I spoke about this last time about piles of shame, piles of opportunities, or what people call them, and things like that. And it can be difficult sometimes, because what seems like a good idea and a cool project gets put on the back burner. When do you get to that point where you kind of admit and go, I'm probably not going to get through this? And you know, people still hold on to things. And I think, do you know what? If you're not going to use it, let it go. Like, that's what I would honestly say to people. If you're not going to use it, you're not going to want it. If you don't want it, let it go. There's you know, you don't have to kind of be like, no, I will, because it's just going to hang over you. And I think it's more like a subliminal thing. You know, some people really, really like it. Some people, you know, actually get really stressed out about it. And I think it's a pretty, it can be, I think decluttering is a really good thing to do, to start fresh, you know, clear stuff. I love, you know, chucking stuff away. I don't really hold on to a lot of bits. I certainly don't have a backlog. I've always made it quite clear that I wasn't never going to buy into FOMOs and things like that. But I can see how people do, and it overwhelms them, and it almost like I won't say stifles their creativity, but it's like going into a room that's just full of clutter, and you're like, oh my god, you know, it's so much, and it's like that. You know, some people are like, if you want to talk about collections, Bob Bobbington is, you know, he loves collecting Warhammer. That's his thing. And do you know what? Fair play to him, because he looks at it and it makes him happy. So do you know what? He's doing it for all the right reasons. But I think sometimes, like especially myself, if I had a lot of stuff that I knew I was against timescale for, I would probably be a bit overwhelmed. And I think that's where some people kind of do go a bit overboard with all these new releases and stuff. Sometimes they're not going anywhere, you know, unless it's you know, like, you know, made to order or timed exclusive or whatever they are, you know, which I'm strongly against. I think that's such a horrible thing to do to someone, is to go like, oh well, this game isn't going to hang around forever, so you better buy it. I'd rather turn around and go, guess what? I ain't going to buy it then. You're not ransoming me like that. But yeah, you're exactly right. I would rather clear 10 boxes of stuff I'm not going to use for one miniature I'm really going to enjoy. And I think I learned that a little while ago. And I've kind of, for the last couple of years, I've been really kind of like anti-horde on miniatures and stuff. I have a few little bits to keep me going, but you know, see that's the other flip thing she said is yeah, you've kept them not knowing to do with them, but how long were you prepared to keep them for before you saw someone and gone, oh my god, that, you know, that's what I want to do with mine. So do you know what? Sometimes it does pay to hang on. I guess it's finding a bit of a balance, you know, and really working out what you want to paint and what you're honestly, your heart's in it, as opposed to you're just keeping it because of, I don't know, you feel you have to because you bought it. And yeah, you should also at the same time, but also at the same time, did you need it in the first place? It's a really kind of like awkward balance. And I said last time, you know, I wrote a piece on my WordPress about this. That's the attitude I take, Richard, is I would rather it go to someone that's going to use it. At the end of the day, and I don't care who you are, these are fucking toys. These are fucking kids' toys. I'm not going to play with them. You know, they sit on my shelf, they look nice. I smile at them and I go, oh, they look nice. But if I know I'm not going to do anything with them for 6 months, then I sell them. And I'd rather them go to homes where people are going to use them and enjoy using them. I can't, you know, I can't hang on to stuff like that because I just, one, I don't have the space, and two, I don't have the hoarding mentality to keep them. So that's the way I look at it. I always think if someone else can use it, then by all means you are welcome to it. And that's just the way I've kind of always looked at it. Most armies that I've always had, I've sold, because, you know, if I'm not going to use them, you know, they've got to go. Sometimes I've sold armies for reasons. Sometimes it's because, once again, they've just sat on the shelf and they're not going to go anywhere. So off they go to an owner that's going to love them, enjoy them, and, you know. And I think, you know what, I'm no slouch with the paintbrush. So do you know what? That could give someone that maybe doesn't like painting a nice tabletop army to enjoy, to be proud of, to add to maybe aspire to. You know, every time I've sold an army, I've always said, you know, if you want any of the recipes, let me know. I'm more than happy to dish out my methods and let people do it. I'm so sorry, I've just realised there's a slight delay and all you've seen is my massive thumb at the camera then. I bet that was terrifying. So those are actually all the colours that I'm going to use on this guy, and I'm going to talk you through them really, really quickly. So we've got the gunmetal, but I would probably use lead belcher. Brass scorpion for the brass trim. Retributor armour for the little gold face. Night Lord's blue, don't put paintbrushes up your bum. For the legs and like the areas here. Abaddon black for the boots, and it's Rhinox hide for the belts. That's literally all the base colours. I'm not going super fancy with these, because I think you can actually get away without adding all these little flourishes with just good, nice painting. And I would rather save the good flourishes, shall we say, for the bigger pieces like the ships and stuff. I think I'm definitely got my heart set on a frigate, because I like the idea of these guys going in it because you can garrison them, which I found out. So I'm going to give them all the ether shot rifles, which have nice range. I think they're 24-inch range, and they can actually fire out of the boat once they're in it, which I think is really, really cool. So super trying to learn about Kharadons without buying a codex, because I'm not paying £32 for a codex, which will probably only last another 6 months before they get an update. The last time the Kharadons were updated was 2020, and with 3.0 coming into play, they are due an upgrade. So I'm definitely not going to waste my time with them. the next step on these guys is Agrax Earthshade. It's literally straight out the pot and it's an all over wash, is how I'm doing these. Once again, like always, I will just be careful about where I'm putting this, how much I'm putting down. Obviously we don't want it pooling and stuff, but we do want nice coverage and we want that wash to show. I think sometimes you can either go too light with a wash and it just ends up staining everything like a poo colour. I'm a big fan of Agrax Earthshade. I think it's a great colour. Or you can either put it on too heavy, in which case it's running down the model and just like, oh my god, what have I done? So I'm just making sure that it's got a good amount. I think the key here is to not be tight with the wash, but also to just make sure that you've worked it into each spot before moving on to the next. So like there, I can see there's a bit too much on that. So we're just going to move that around. What does, and obviously it's something that I didn't talk about last time, what does everyone think of the new paint colours? Is the announcement everything you thought it was going to be? Because I felt quite shortchanged, I'm not going to lie. The way they made it out was that to prepare your buttholes because the next step in paint evolution was coming. And I had the idea of, thank you very much, Bob. I will take you up on that probably quite a few times. I actually have the Azure app, which I don't know whether you know still works, and it's got all the data sheets on. So I've actually just been using that. Yeah, in my head, I was kind of like, oh, is it sprayable contrast? That could be quite handy. You know, I would have loved to have seen Avalanche Sunset Spray come back. I think it's a travesty that they haven't brought it back. You know, there was a lot I was hoping for, and it just turned out to be some nice new contrast colours, which, while, you know, new paints is always a welcome bonus. At the same time, I was maybe hoping for or expecting a little bit more. I don't know how many of you felt like that. So that's don't know about it. That's how bad it was. It was just they announced some new contrast colours and a new white scar spray. That was the big announcement, and I think that was really bad because they put up the thing saying, you know, prepare your brushes. The revolution comes in July. They did that CGI trailer, which probably means the paint's going to go up because we got to fucking pay for that as well. And it just turned out to be a thing to do with new contrast colours, which, to be fair, could have just been a bit of a range expansion. They didn't need to hype it up like they did, and I think they ended up with a bit of egg on their face from the community there, because I think a lot of people turned around and was like, yeah, it's just new paint, what are you going on about? So once again, that's the Warhammer marketing team doing... Yes, they did update some washes. It's worth noting, in case you don't know, is that the gloss varnishes, Reichland, Agrax Earthshade glosses are actually being discontinued. So if you need them, get them now and get a few of them to stock up, because they are actually discontinuing the gloss varnishes if you use them, which I find quite stupid, because if you watch a lot of the videos that the Warhammer TV people do, quite often you'll see them mix Reichland or Agrax Earthshade gloss and matte to almost make a satin, because obviously they don't do a satin. So soon their own paint videos will actually be made obsolete, which I think is pretty stupid. And I think that's something that, once again, GW are pretty good at doing, is not really thinking if that's fair to say. Like, why put out a paint video that uses these methods if you can't no longer do the method? But I bet you any money that video isn't going to be removed. So yeah, I think that's a bit stupid. You say it wasn't shit anymore. Corax White, personally, I found you just had to hold it a little bit nearer to the miniature. Otherwise, the only paint I've actually ever had frost up on me was Corax White, and you get that weird frosting. A little tip, you can do that. I know you can get a little bit of olive oil, and you can just kind of work that into the area and stuff like that, and it should do it. Or wait for it to dry and go over it again. Personally, I would just strip the miniature and start again. White's an incredibly difficult color, much like yellow, and this is what baffles me, that they do white sprays but they don't do yellow sprays. Is the way they are is the pigment is incredibly thin in yellow and white sprays. So if ever you're going to get a problem like that, that's why sometimes when you paint yellow straight out the pot, it looks very streaky and things like that. It's because the pigment is very thin, and I think a lot of people just expect it to be quite thick out the pot. Once again, same with white. It's an incredibly thin pigment that you need to you're covering there. So I don't know how it's going to be their best spray ever. I just think it's going to be a slightly brighter spray. Yeah, it's I've made a few videos and done a few tutorials on yellow. It's a colour that I've worked with quite a lot, and I often sit there and I do think, I wonder why people have a problem, and I can understand why, with playing around with it. Is that I think they expect results like you would out of a high pigment colour straight away, and I think just yellow, and I've said this so many times to people, your yellow always looks really, really crisp. Is patience. With lighter colours, you just need a bit more patience. That's all it is. If you're talking about this absolute bad boy, Iandan Yellow, this is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to finger gun this because it's that good. I use this for my Imperial Fists. It's a really, really good colour. Yes, that's exactly it. It's that's all it is. Light colours just have less pigment in them. That's how you get that lighter shade. But people obviously, I think it's eager to get a job done sometimes, and I think sometimes we forget why we're painting. Not because we want the miniature to look good, it's because we want to get it done. I think that's the difference between an artist and a hobbyist. That's just my hot take on it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. But I treat every model like an individual piece because I really, really like painting them. I could quite easily never play a game of Warhammer ever again, but it would break my heart to never be able to paint a miniature. So, I would consider myself a painter before I am a hobbyist. I think when we say hobby, you instantly think, oh, he means building or trimming or gluing or hit bashing. No, I think that's part of a hobby in itself. And you have all these little bubbles to do with it and stuff like that. But that's my kind of thing with it, is I just feel that there's people that do it because they feel they have to, and there's people that do it because they feel they want to. And I've often said, when you enjoy a piece because you want to paint it, the work will naturally be better because you enjoy doing it. I spoke to Josh. Josh will always tell you he's a painter, and he's very humble with it. He's a great guy in that side of things, but he will tell you, he said, I paint it just to get it done because I don't like painting, I'd rather play. And that is way of kind of doing it. Whereas like myself, I spend an age on miniature because I want it to look the best it can be, and that's why I think there's a big difference between a hobbyist like Josh, who plays, builds, paints in a capacity whereas my focus is mainly on one section of that. Have I gone again? Okay, good. It's I think it's probably the hot weather, I would probably say, is making the connection probably not the best. But yes, that's where, you know, I feel with it is the difference is the hobby encapsulated. You have all these different bubbles, and you kind of, when people say hobbyist, I think instantly people go to this kind of weird place where they assume knowledge is equal. Like, I know very little about Warhammer, like hysterically little about Warhammer, and that's my own choosing. I don't find it all particularly interesting. I find it quite overwhelming. I wouldn't know where to start. I've tried reading some of the books before, and I just think it's awful, really awful writing. I think we spoke about this last time, and you know, but because I'm a hobbyist, you chat to someone, and they're like, "Oh, who's your favourite Primarch?" And I go, "Oh, well, the one in Tottenham Court Road is really nice." And everyone kind of looks at you, and it's like, well, I don't really know all of them. I'm sorry, do you? I can't name them all. So, you know. Okay, so it looks like I've run into disconnect problems again on the chat. Don't know whether you can still hear me, but my chat is disconnected. Just bear with us, and I'll try and get it back. If anyone is there and you can hear me, can you just try, oh no, just write something in the chat briefly for us, because it's asking me to please try again later for chat. So if you could write anything, just so I can know if it's working or not. If it's not, I will move on to announcing the giveaway winner. That's if my internet lets me do it now, but fingers crossed it should be okay. Let me just tidy up this guy's head. Oh, I think that's good enough. Okay, so it doesn't look like I have chat. Now, last time this happened, you could still hear me, but you couldn't write to me. So I'm just going to go on to that precedent. So I think what I'll do is I will quickly stick a wash on this guy's head, and then I will move on to the giveaway and probably just end the stream there today, which is a shame because it was quite nice chatting with everyone, especially on a lovely warm Friday. And for a change, I wasn't out down the pub, but I might still have a beer in the garden in about half hour and let the little dog just run around and go a bit mental, because bless him, he's been such a good little boy today in this weather. So let's just finish up with this guy's head, which sounds really weird when you say it out loud. You bunch of perverts. And calling. Sure, that's all done. I don't know what that is. I hate it when they have little like weird things around their eyes. I don't know, it weirds me out, man. And we're just gonna make sure that's all Okay, he's pretty even. He's looking quite nice. Good, good, good. Right, let's let him dry. So the giveaway was for this. I'm going to really hype this up. It was this awesome engine master with harness. I don't know what type of harness. Abseiling, parachuting, sex swing. I don't know, but it was for this guy. His cool little miniature. Actually, I actually spent some time looking at it, and I probably will end up with another one of these, which I might paint a little bit later on. But this guy, for the time being, has once again no place in my force. Sorry to tell you. So he has gone up for a giveaway. It is just the guy itself with his little 32mm base, which obviously doesn't matter where you are in the world. I'll post it to you. I've got a post run on the 28th of this month, so that's when it will be dispatched to you. It also gives people time to just message me back if they aren't watching or can't watch live and don't know they have won. So everyone's got a bit of time to do it. So I'm hoping my internet is going to work here, because I need to do this. I need to go to that. And it's spinning, so I think we're halfway there. And I need to go to that. I need to go to that. And then if I press this, it should. Dun, 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 it's spinning. It's spinning. Jim G. Jim G. Is my winner. So I will tag you in the description below. Do get back to me. Probably the best way of doing it, if you watch or you catch up or anything like that, is on Instagram through private messaging. I'm assuming if you've entered the giveaway, you've probably seen it on Instagram, so you might be on there. I will put up something on there as well, just so no one misses it. In the, I guess, unlikely event that you've missed it and you don't know you are a winner, you've got probably till the 28th to come forward. If you don't, then do you know what? I will just pick another winner, and maybe I'll owe you one, because I feel quite bad that you didn't get your prize. So let's go with that. I'll put that all in the description in a minute, and that will go off to its brand new owner. The progress we have for today, before I go, is we do have the body section. Obviously, I need to go over with the metallics to brighten everything up, and the head. All that's left is his arms and his little backpack, which won't take long at all, plus his base. Yeah, I'm a little bit gutted that the internet has stopped doing that, or I mean, that worked quite well, so I'm assuming it's probably a YouTube problem, maybe. I am trying to get it back. Hey, okay, well, we've got chat. Oh look, it's caught up. Okay, no, I think we're back, don't worry. Okay, so I can't view all. Oh no, there we go. Okay. I can hear you. Anything? Great head. Glowing eyes next time. Can't see chat. How did you know? What a Jim. Hey, okay, Jim. Okay, Jim G is the winner. Absolutely fantastic. I'm glad, and I've got you back. So I'll give it another 5, and then I will say my farewells for Friday. As I say, I do have a balloon arch to put up. I have some little tiny paper chain decoration things that need to go up. The dog does need to go for his walk, because it's a lot cooler now. It's a lot better, safer for him as well, which I have to do. And then I need to find my pressure sprayer. I know this is riveting conversation here. I need to find my pressure sprayer to do some weed killing. because the type of guy I am. I can't have weeds on my driveway. Do you think you just rock up to Rob's house? Oh, he's got lots of dandelions everywhere. No, he ain't. He does weed killing. So I'm going to go huff some weed killer. Maybe do some lines of bath salts. I'm unsure of how I'm going to spend the rest of my evening. It will probably be productive nonetheless. So, yeah. Oh, Jim. Well, the balloon arch is nearly actually all done. I've had a bit of time on my hand. I don't know whether you all noticed, but this is a slightly later stream today of 8 o'clock as opposed to my usual 7 o'clock. One, because it's a Friday and I'm allowed to stay up an hour later. And two, I actually I've just seen that Bob Robinson going to wee on my driveway. And I don't know whether I'm frightened, aroused, or a even combination of both. But yeah, the balloon arch is done. I just need to put it up, not up, just up. The arch is done. So I've got that to do. I do have a very, very excited 6-year-old. I don't know whether you've heard any murmurs in the background of them. They're currently in their room chatting away to each other. Very, very excited. So yeah, that's it. I did start a little bit earlier as well, only because Bob did message me and said I'm waiting, and I never keep a lady waiting. I must say, it's nice when you get a lot of your pals on the stream. It's quite chatty, and it's very it's quite funny watching you all talk amongst yourselves, which is very very amusing actually. So yeah, it's definitely been a lovely one for such a hot day. So yeah, the next stream will probably be Monday. I won't do Sunday like I did last week, only purely because it's Father's Day, and fuck it, I want a day off. But also, I think I will struggle to get the rest of him done with the weekend I'm going to have. And I would like to come back and be able to show you some completed miniatures and things and stuff like that. So I think it's better to maybe... I'll be back only in a rerun. And I will be able to, talk a bit more about them and show off. And I think we can start to see like what the unit's going to like once there's 2 or 3 of them done. So, and plus picking up speed with them, I think it's definitely good. Does everyone like my expressive hands? I never know what to do with my hands because like you can't really see my face. There's no point seeing my face. You'd rather see what I'm doing. You can see what I'm doing. It's a lot better, isn't it? You can see me painting. You can ask questions. I can see the chat. That's fine. But I always like, do I just keep my hands still while I talk and you not realise that I'm moving? Or do I kind of give it the old expressive hands? I don't know what everyone is talking about. It flows a little bit better with the hands. Just stay away. Finger puppets. This is what you got to do. You've got to do your exercises, didn't you? So there we go. I hope everyone likes my hands. They're fucked. I've got no feeling in the end of this finger because I cut it off. I don't know whether you can see that lovely scar there. I've got no feeling in the end of this finger. It's completely dead. I bite my nails. I really shouldn't, but I do. I bite my nails quite a lot. And yeah, I mean, the only other thing I can do to kind of... Was that Amber? No, she just shit in my bed. Is I have tiny hands as well, which I always think go quite well with things. God bless tiny hands. If you watch my YouTube videos, you'll recognise the tiny hands from my intro. Good. I think they just need a bit of a maybe some nail varnish. I'm thinking maybe French tips with a coughing nail bevel. I don't know. I don't do nails. Maybe a nice ombre. So there we go. They need shading. They need fucking incinerating. So I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it there. And yes, thanks everyone for stopping by. Sorry it is a brief one. Sorry there has been some interruptions with the internet. It might be all that roadworks that I'm doing outside my house myself, just because I really feel there isn't enough on my road. I've taken it upon myself to stop digging up cables. Might have something to do with it, might not. I don't know, but you can't pin it on me. Tattoo the mini hands fingers. I'm going to give him hate and love little tattoos and things like that. So I don't know. But yes, thanks again for popping in and supporting us. It does mean a lot. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, comment, sell me your mum or nan or sister. I'm like Car Giant for family members, and I just resell them on. And I will definitely see you all next time. Penge, have a lovely last day at work. Bob, it's been absolutely fantastic catching up with you. Please do pop in again. Richard, you are a legend. I love you very much. Kindred spirit, or like soulmates. And Ricky, if you are still watching, I'm incredibly jealous that you're just in Denmark and I'm not. And yeah, thanks to everyone who did pop in. I will see you all next time, Monday. I'll put a post up. God bless, take care, and goodbye.